Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm excited to introduce my little Japanese rice fish and love to share with you my DIY mini pond and things that I learned from my mistakes. I was working on making Japanese garden at my place and wanted a little pond. At first, I was thinking of getting some goldfish in the pond. But I live in Gold Coast where it's very hot in summer, so I decided to get some rice fish as they are more tolerant of warm water than goldfish, and they don't need aeration as the water stream caused by aeration exhausts them. Also, as I'm Japanese, I used to see rice fish in rice paddies in the countryside, so they bring me back to my childhood memories. And even just peacefully watching the iridescent luster of the swimming fish is so relaxing. I tried to use this beautiful plant pot to make a pond. Seal the bottom holes with glue gun because I've seen it on some video. But this method didn't work for me. The water was leaking. I wasn't sure if it's a problem of the glue or material with the pot. Anyway, I changed the pot. This is a big self-watering pot. It's gonna be okay. This time, I used Aerolite epoxy glue to seal the hole. And left it outside for a day to cure. Yes, it looks good. I cleaned the pebbles to get rid of some debris before I placed them in the pond. Thinking about how I can design the pond is exciting. I drilled some holes on this small plastic pot for the fish to swim through or hide if they need to, then placed it in the pond. Plastic pots float in water, so I laid the pebbles around the pot to hold it in the center of the pond. And I put this water plant called swamp pepper or bishop's weed on it to secure in place. I chose it because it's bushy and will give some nice shaded area for the fish. Plants act like filters and oxygenate the water. I got this plant from my backyard beside the big pond. I think this is called a spiny rush, and it's a weed, but I like this adding a nice contrast of the shape. I used some rocks to settle the spiny rush. Okay, let's fill up the pond. And I realized that I was about to make a massive mistake. Of course, I should install the pond in the garden before I fill up, otherwise it's too heavy to carry by my own. Stupid me. After I filled up the pond, I treated water with a conditioner. The next mistake that I noticed was the plant spot. They floored, so I changed them to terracotta ones. I added some floating plants, pennywort, duckweed, and frogbit. They are not only giving the pond a wild feel, Their roots can create a fish's breeding nest. At that time, we often had heavy rain, so I made an overflow, just drilling a small hole and cover it with a patch of mesh. Luckily, I found a gentleman from local grass-fed ad who sells Japanese rice fish in Brisbane. I got 8 juvenile pearl rice fish. How pretty! I slowly adjusted the water temperature, same as the pond water. Then I put the rice fish in my pond. I made a cover to protect my fish from not only our cats but wild birds and the cane toads. My fish seem to remember me now. They ask me for food every time I go near the pond. I feed them goldfish flakes. The flakes are so thin that my fish can easily bite them. Summer has arrived in Australia. It's getting hot here, and my floating plants are growing so fast. If they grow too much and cover the pond, they will reduce oxygen in water, so I will need to take some out of the pond. Generally, rice fish like sunlight, but if it's getting too much, it heats up the water and exhausts them. So I place a shade by the pond just to keep them happier. One morning, I noticed that a tiny fish was swimming at the surface. Oh, how cute! I know if I leave it here, adult fish will eat it. So I quickly scooped it with a cup. Then think what I can do. I decided to make a baby room in the pond. This plastic cup would probably do the job. I made some holes on the bottom of the cup. Then made a strip to hold the cup at the edge of the pond. That's my baby fish room. See how it's going. Baby fish can't handle rapid environmental change, so I avoid changing large amount of water at once. I feed the babies grand fish food so that they can easily eat. At this moment, I have 4 baby fish here in these baby rooms. I just love watching my fish, listening to the sound of the bamboo water fountain. This is my DIY rice fish mini pond in a peaceful garden. I will update on my future video to let you know how my baby fish are going. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you have a great day. Love you all. See you next time.